Hello and welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where last time we began exploring mysterious Labyrinthia, and today we should be able to finish this chapter. We're going to start off by talking to Espella over here. Also, I did see some comments referring to this cat as Sissel from Ghost Trick Friend Detective, and I don't think we've quite reached that level of Infinity War crossover, but you never know, maybe this game will surprise me. Anyway, let's talk to Espella and see what she has to say. It's such a cute cat, so well behaved and clever too. Thank you, Eva's a real friend. Aww. Oh, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Mr. Layton, you wanted to ask me something, didn't you? What was it you wanted to know? Well, there are a few things. Perhaps I'd better ask them one at a time. It may take a little while if you can spare the time. Yes, of course, anything I can do to help. Thank you, Miss Miller. Well then, first off, what I want to ask Espella about is... Hey, would you look at that? Okay, so now we have the Ace Attorney dialogue system. I see. Alright, well, let's start with after we separated in London. Could you tell us again what happened between the time that we were separated in London and your return to Labyrinthia? You said you can't clearly recall what happened, is that right? No, I can't. When I came to, I was back here in Labyrinthia. I can remember everything up until I boarded that cargo ship, but after that I just can't seem to remember how I got back here. It seems the townsfolk didn't even notice that I'd been away. I almost thought the whole thing must have just been a dream. Until the two of you appeared here in Labyrinthia, it seems I wasn't dreaming after all. Yes, indeed. It all really did happen. You came to my office, and then the witch came for you. So does that mean that the witch brought Espella back to Labyrinthia? Well, I suppose so, but why was I in London in the first place? Eh? Why did I meet you two gentlemen? Why was the witch after me? I just can't seem to remember why. Espella, you and Carmine were running away from the witches, weren't you? Carmine? Do you mean to say that you don't remember being in London with Carmine? Carmine took you from him took you with him and tried to escape from this town. Carmine took me with him and tried to escape? I'm sorry, I do have a vague memory of Carmine, but why was I in London? I just can't seem to remember. What I want to ask Espella about is her memories. I mean, that's kind of a broad category. Everything we're talking about right now could fit under that category, but alright. Do you remember this letter, Espella? A letter? We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Yes, Carmine gave you this letter and instructed you to bring it to me. You followed his advice and brought it to me in my office. That letter, can I take a closer look at it? Yes, of course. Whew, okay. Do you remember anything? I don't remember the letter, but this writing does look somewhat familiar. I do have a feeling that there was someone there next to me. Espella, are you alright? I think I remember. I remember Carmine. Really? You're right, I do know him. I definitely know Carmine. Carmine was here in this town. In fact, he was in this very shop. Interesting. In the shop, Espella? But, according to the townsfolk, they've never even heard of him. Yes, that's right. What they say contradicts what I remember. That's why I'm finding it so difficult to trust my own memories. Please don't let that deter you. We'd be grateful to hear what you know. What I want to ask Espella about is... These are all just different versions of each other. Her memories, also known as what she can recall. Please, do let us know what you can recall. According to my memory, Carmine was working here in this bakery. Eh? But there are already two workers in the shop, right? Mr. Wright and Maya. only Phoenix gets the title of Mr. Whereas Maya does not get the title of Mrs. Faye. Or, sorry, Miss Faye, apparently. Those two have also been working here, making for some time now. Well, some time, at least that's... So I've been told in the comments that apparently they just... Like, they actually believe that they've been here for 5 years making bread. Or baking bread. I don't know how that came about, but I'm sure we'll find out. Or at least, I'm quite sure that must be the case. Mrs. DeClaire and anyone else around here would soon tell you so. That's why I put no faith in my memory. This difference in perception is certainly intriguing. And the fact that Carmine worked here has me somewhat curious. Do you think all the townsfolk could just be pretending not to know? I mean, maybe Carmine really was here and they're acting like they don't remember. After all, he did mention in that letter that he wrote that he escaped from Labyrinthia. How about we go and ask him for people around the town? No, Luke, I don't think that's a good idea. As you are no doubt well aware by now, a single word out of place can be enough to bring in the lights against us. Not only that, but I really cannot believe that Mrs. DeClaire would pretend not to know him. She's always so straight with people. She's never two-faced. Oh, really? Then what would you call what happened at the end of the last episode, then? Perhaps, Luke, we should be thankful that she took care of him. Yes, you're right, of course, Professor. By the way, in that letter, Carmine claimed that this town held a mysterious secret. He implied that he wanted me to solve Labyrinthia's mystery. Do you have any idea what that mystery could be? Labyrinthia's mystery? I'm sorry, but I've never even suspected that this town holds any secrets. How about the secret of why it's in a goddamn book? How about we start with that big old secret? Then what might it have been that Carmine was investigating? Ooh, me, pick me, I think I know, pick me. What was Carmine investigating? Ah, I think I might know what it could be. One time Carmine asked me this. Why is it that whatever is written by the storyteller in the Historia Labyrinth always becomes fact? If that puzzle can be solved, then we will unravel the mystery of Labyrinthia, he said. So Carmine didn't believe that what's written must always come true either. Well, I'm not sure, but what? It's only natural that what's written in that book must come true, and it's hard for me to believe that both you and Carmine could doubt this. Well, speaking for myself, I can't just believe it so easily. Nevertheless, to the people of Labyrinthia, it appears to be a matter of common sense, which is why those knights treated us with such suspicion. That's true, but are you saying that in your London, there's no story? Well, there are certainly none that come true as the Historia Labyrinthia does. In the world as we know it, such a notion is inconceivable. As I suspected, Carmine is from the same London as you two, so I suppose it makes perfect sense that you should all think in that way. Incidentally, what action did Carmine take after he came to suspect the story? Well, Carmine often visited the Great Archive. The Great Archive? Yes, that's where all the volumes of the story are kept. You mean to say all previous volumes too? Yes, every volume of the story so far, all of them. I see. In other words, he wanted to confirm the authenticity of the story. But Professor, surely he wouldn't be in the trouble with the witches for just looking at some books. As I recall, in the letter he sent to me, he wrote, I realized the town held a mysterious secret, and decided to get to the bottom of it. But before I could, they found me. So I should have a disclaimer here. This is probably the most interested I've been in a Professor Layton story out of all the games I've played so far, which is a total of 3, not including this game. However, I was also intrigued with the original trilogy. Maybe I wasn't super invested in the first game, but I was still curious. Second game, I was actually really interested in that story because that game took us all over the map. A lot of different locations to explore. A big grand Indiana Jones style adventure. Big fan of that one. So, Unwound Future. At that point, I was just morbidly curious to see what the hell was going on. But the point of this little tangent is, it's not the first time I've been invested in a Professor Layton story, and the other times I've been invested, I've been immediately let down by the fact that nothing made sense by the end. So, keeping an open mind, but I'm gonna temper my expectations just to be on the safe side. I believe that was it, which probably means it wasn't just ordinary books he was investigating. It's quite likely that the books had something to do with the witches. So you mean Carmine came close to unraveling Labyrinthia's mystery, and therefore became the witch's target, is what you were suggesting? I believe that would be highly probable. But why did the witches... Espella? Have there been other stories about witches before this? Ah, yes. There have been many stories about them. All of these stories are also being kept in the... Great Archive. Well, I wonder where we're going next. Ooh, the witches story. Sounds fun. Stories about the witches are no doubt a source of considerable fear for the townsfolk, so why is it deemed necessary to keep such stories in the Great Archive? They are an important source of information for the Inquisition. Their prime objective is to capture witches and protect the people of the town. So you're saying that in order to fight the witches, it is essential to read about them and learn their ways? Yes, that's right. Stories involving the witches are under the authority of the Order of Knights, and the Order of Knights was established to protect the town of Labyrinthia. The storyteller, the Order of Knights, and the Inquisition, they are the ones who govern this town. The entire fate of Labyrinthia is decided by the Creator, otherwise known as the Storyteller. So basically, if you believe that to be true, then one day the Storyteller could just be like, I'm kinda sick of y'all, and it just like writes in a new page of the story that just kills everyone. That sounds like a great way to live in fear constantly. If he has constantly, like, obviously it's not gonna end up being, it's obviously it's gonna have some kind of twist. But if we assume that what she's saying is 100% truthful, that's a great way to have everyone living in fear constantly. Anyway, it then falls to the Order of Knights to protect the townsfolk from such events. The Knights not only protect the people, but also act as the storyteller's guard. And finally, the Inquisition is responsible for trying the witches in the... I see. So, she's gonna be the one she's gonna be our main prosecutor for the game then. Okay, I'm down for that. I am 100% down for that. She's made a good first impression so far. So far she's made a good impression on me in the few instances in which we've actually spoken to her. So I approve of her being the main prosecutor for this game. I'm excited to see how this goes about. That's the manner in which this town is managed and order is maintained. Undoubtedly, it was the Order of Knights keeping peace during the parade we saw. That's right, the storyteller holds those parades from time to time. He gives the townsfolk the story that will determine their fate from that time onwards. The story this time involved a witch, which explains why the knights were on such high alert. I wonder what spells will be used this time. If only we could check in that book. Just a moment, Espella. What was it that you just said? Do you mean to say that there is a book about magic? Yes, there is, in the Great Archive. It describes all the spells that provide the witches with their wicked power. It is a special book, used by the Knights of the Inquisition to aid them in their investigations. That's it. That must have been what Carmine was so interested in. He was investigating the witch's power. Of course, it's possible that he came upon a secret that he shouldn't have known. And that's why the witches attacked him. Indeed, Luke. That may very well be the reason. The story is so respected by the people, and the witches whom they fear. There could be a certain secret connecting these two in some way. And guess who's gonna get to the bottom of it? None other than Layton and Luke. Together again. Thank you, Espella. It seems we now know where to begin with our investigation. So you'll be visiting the Great Archive? Yes, indeed. The book about magic that resides there may well provide a valuable clue towards unraveling the mystery of Labyrinthia. We better get going with our investigation straight away, right, Professor? Absolutely, Luke. We must solve this puzzle for Carmine's sake as well as for our own. Mr. Layton? Yes? Please take me along with you. I'm not sure that's wise. It might put you in more than a little trouble. It is likely that Carmine's investigations are what led to him being pursued by witches. I'd like to remind you, Layton, that about 30 minutes ago, you would have been captured by the guards, by the knights, if Espella hadn't jumped in and saved your rear end. So, maybe a good idea to take her with you. That's just my recommendation. If that's the case, the path we tread may well be fraught with danger. You mean the danger she saved you from? Talking with you both like this, I too have come to believe that there must be a secret to this town. I want to help you find the truth. Well, there's no one better to find the truth than not Layton. Well, Espella, I suppose that settles it. From here on in, let's all do our very best to solve this mystery together. Yes, together. I'm the Professor's apprentice, so if there's anything you need to know, just ask. Haha, thank you, Luke. I'll be sure to do that. Well then, without any further ado, let's follow in Carmine's footsteps and visit the Great Archive. I'm quite certain that's where the clues are waiting to be found. Yes, let's go. Can the cat come along too? Aww. Oh, I thought the cat was gonna sadly, I thought the cat was gonna sadly saunter away, not excitedly leap away from us. Meow. Oh, my pendant, I almost forgot it. I almost forgot its important plot detail. That's a lovely pendant, Espella. This is a setup for later in the game. It's very old, I can't even remember how old I was when I started wearing it. Right, sorry to have kept you. Shall we leave for the Great Archive now? Sure. Let's set off on an adventure. Oh, Espella, are you off out somewhere? Yes, I'm taking Mr. Layton and Luke to see the Great Archive. Is that so? Well, you might want to hurry. It looks like it might rain at any time. Ah, yes, that reminds me. Could you get me something while you're out? Just on your way back will be fine. Yes, of course. What can I get for you? Some goat's milk from Mary. I forgot to get some when I was at the market. Okay, I'll drop around to Mary's farm on the way back. Would you? There's a milk bucket ready around the back. Milk, you say? Naturally, our bakery uses only the finest goat's milk for our milk loaf. It's so fluffy and white, it's delicious. Cool, sounds great. Let's be certain to try some later, Luke. I'm totally up for that. Okay. So, hey, do either of you have anything interesting to say? Do Phoenix and Maya have interesting things to say? Sorry if I came across as rude earlier. Please pay it no thought. It's just that sometimes I get carried away when I'm pounding the dough like that. But it was kind of surprising to hear a big thump like that, even if you were just kneading the dough. And when you said, "Take that," my heart nearly stopped. Ugh. Luke will not fare well in the courtroom sections. When I bake great bread, I guess I just feel the need to present it to the customer like that. Okay, so what about Maya? What does Maya have to say? So you're both friends of Espella's? I'm glad to see she has friends like you. You ain't never had a friend like me. Oh, that's it? That's her only line? Oh, okay, great. Well, time to go to the Great Archive. I guess we'll head out. And so do we actually know how to get to the Great Archive? I'm assuming it's here, where the exclamation point is. So we'll go here. I mean, I'm just taking a shot in the dark. I have no clue where we're going. Looks like the Knights have given up searching for us, thank goodness. Yes, it seems you're right, Luke. From the look of the things, we should be safe. Well, okay, they may have given up actively pursuing you, but you're still probably wanted for the Knights, so I'm guessing that they'll still be on the, at their post, they'll probably be like, alright, let's scan the horizon and look for the guy with a top hat. I don't think you're safe just yet. A new destination's been added to the map, Great Archive entrance, okay? Well, let's head there. Moving to... Oh, wow, all the way up there. I would have guessed that was the castle. like the place where the storyteller lives. Not quite the Great Archive entrance, but alright.
Here we are, this is the Great Archive.
That is a giant building.
Wow, it looks impressive even from a distance, but now we're here up close, it's huge. Just looking up and it makes my neck ache.
It must have taken considerable time and manpower to erect a building of this size.
Yes, it did. This building has become something of a symbol for the town.
So I'm just curious about the world building here. So like, can the storyteller just summon, assuming we take all this as at face value, can the storyteller just summon anything? Like if he writes into the book, can he just create a mansion? Can he just like make himself live forever? Like what are the rules of how? I'm sure they'll be answered in due time, and I'm also pretty sure that this isn't, like, none of this is real, because the Professor Layton games have used this town is actually fake trick 3 times in a row, so I'm expecting no less from this game. But,
huh? Hey, look at that roof over there! It looks like it suffered some considerable fire damage at some point. Was that a major fire or something? That was...
Who?
Oh, it's you!
That roof has been like that for some time. It's really nothing new.
Really?
If it's alright with you, could you tell us a little about it? You never cease to amaze me with your incredible lack of knowledge.
We just got here.
Well, I guess it couldn't hurt to tell you. That damage is from the legendary fire.
The legendary fire?
Yes. Long, long ago, there was a huge fire that engulfed almost this entire town. The damage there occurred at that time. You can see other traces of the fire around the town too, here and there.
The entire town was engulfed in a huge fire!
All the townsfolk know about it. Probably the only ones that don't.
Because we haven't been here before. This is our first time exploring Labyrinthia.
Thank you for letting us in. That certainly cleared up a few things. No problem. So happens I had nothing better to do. What's such a bad way to kill time?
Anyway, I'll see. Okay, you killed about 20 seconds of your time. You may want to find a new hobby.
To think that even a building of this size can be affected by a fire. The fire that spread through the town really must have been legendary.
You're certainly right about that, Luke.
Espella, is something the matter? Oh, no, nothing at all.
Shall we make our way inside?
Sure, let's head inside the Great Archive and see what mysteries await us in here. Okay, let's explore. We haven't solved any puzzles yet. Well, I say that, but I imagine there's gonna be plenty of puzzles for us to solve in here.
Wow, there are books crammed in here from floor to ceiling.
Truly remarkable. Are all these books stories?
Yes, they are. All of them. It said that these were all written by the storyteller. All of these books, but there are so many.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I got him. Don't worry. Piece of cake.
Phew! Told you, no problem.
Falser words have never been spoken.
Sorry to startle you folk. I didn't think there was anyone here. That's alright. It's lucky you didn't drop any books.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone carry so many books at once. Aren't they heavy?
I love books, so I feel like a mother carrying her baby. If you love books too, why not carry a few with me?
I do love books, but I don't think I could carry that many.
You obviously don't understand the true enjoyment of books.
Ah, yes, my favorite part of reading is carrying massive stacks of books. Fun fact: in middle school, my friend and I did a book drive where because there was I can't remember what the program was called, but we basically donated books to a lot of schools that didn't have the they couldn't afford those kinds of couldn't afford a lot of extra reading material for kids to read. So we did a book drive where we just gathered a bunch of books and we donated it to them. When we did that, I had to carry it up. I think I got the amount of books I was able to carry once, stacking them like this guy is. I think I got it up to about where my nose was, and that was already pushing it. There's no way I could ever stack this many goddamn books at once. Embracing books. Oh, and there's also, oh, good God. Now that reminds me of middle school in general, where we had to carry our notebooks between Eventually I gave up. In our middle school, we had to carry our notebooks between classes all day long. And there was this 7 periods a day, so that's 7, well, okay, I guess technically 6, because one of them was gym, so yeah, whatever. But still, having to carry that between all the different class periods was a major pain. That, in addition to our planner, which everyone's provided for free, was a big old pain. So that just reminds me of that. Eventually I gave up and I just put all my notebooks in one big, case thing. And I carry that with me all day, but still, it's a lot of memories associated with carrying a lot of books at once. I'm not sure I totally agree.
Dewey?
Yeah, that voice, that's a spell, isn't it? Oh, here we go again.
Please remain calm. You wouldn't want to drop those books.
Just leave it to me, see?
All under control. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you like that. Dewey, we've come here to find a book about magic.
Magic? I should have known. That is, never mind. Well, if it's magic that you're interested in, then might I suggest the Grand Grimoire?
The Grand Grimoire, you say? We'd like to borrow that book if we may.
Well, you'll need Miss Mister's past permission. Are you sure you want to borrow it? Absolutely, we're very interested in magic. Friends of Espella is interested in magic, so these two must also be. Uh-oh. Whoops. No! I'm losing them!
Silence. Oh dear.
Silence in the library.
Her name's Riddle, by the way. Just figured I'd let you know. Her name's Riddle. Yep. Her name is Riddle. Okay.
The Great Archive was founded for those in the noble pursuit of knowledge. I must ask you to be a little quieter, please. Dewey, as a budding librarian, I would have thought you would have known better.
I'm sorry, Miss Mystere, but these people say they want to borrow the Grand Grimoire.
Did you say the Grand Grimoire? You're Espella Cantabella. You, of all people, must know the significance of the Grand Grimoire. It is an important piece of literature which can only be viewed by learned persons of significant status. It's not like I can just give my permission to whoever asks for it, you know? I understand that, but this man... I'm sorry, but rules cannot be changed.
I mean, they can. They absolutely can, but okay.
The request is online. That book could prove indispensable for my investigations into magic. And you are? Excuse me, but may I ask your name? I'm Professor Layton, and I'm investigating this town. You could say I'm a traveler, so to speak. A traveler? I'm afraid I've never come across such a profession. Well, I suppose we can return to that later. My name is Riddle Mystery. I'm a librarian as well as the curator of the Great Archive, and I am therefore responsible for all pieces of work here, including the Grand Grimoire. I'm afraid that no matter what your profession or who you are, it is beyond my authority to lend you the Grand Grimoire. It is simply against the rules.
The rules? Can't you make an exception for us?
Luke, please leave this to me. I can understand that you are unable to show this book to just anyone. However, as you yourself said just a moment ago, the Great Archive was founded for those in the noble pursuit of knowledge, and I am currently very much in the pursuit of knowledge regarding magic. Perhaps you would consider letting me at least peruse the Grand Grimoire? Only learned persons of significant status, and in particular, Inquisitors, are permitted to refer to the Grand Grimoire. Inquisitors? Those who administer justice in this town, Knights of Wisdom as they are known. Only somebody with equal status to that of an Inquisitor, or with the same level of wisdom would qualify. So if I could demonstrate the required level of wisdom, then I would qualify? You certainly are a persistent gentleman. Very well, let's see what you make of a trial. This trial has been used in the past to test the ability of aspiring Inquisitors. If you are able to clear this trial, then I will acknowledge that your wisdom matches that of an Inquisitor. If you can achieve this, then as curator of the Great Archive, I will lend you that book. Splendid. Then by all means, do begin. You certainly have some confidence. Let's see if you can live up to it. Do you think you can pass this trial, at which so many hopefuls have stumbled?
Oh, give me your best shot. Hit me with your best shot.
See what you can do with this.
I'm ready. Hit me with your best shot. Alright. Puzzle 16. Lost in time. And for once, I don't have to switch the screens around because I'm guessing this is all going to be a top screen. Okay. Make your way through the maze of strange clocks and to the goal. You can only move in the direction of the clock hands. With each step you take, the clock hands rotate 90 degrees, so take care. Oh, this looks fun. Okay, I'm just gonna fly by the seat of my pants and see how this goes. So, we need to rotate these enough times to the point where the bottom right one, wait, did you say clockwise or counterclockwise? Okay, it's clockwise. Okay, so it has to be facing up when we step onto it. Okay, so then in that case it has to we have to get there from the bottom row. So we have to get down to the bottom row. We can only go. I mean, I guess we can just follow the paths and see where this goes. Cause okay, so we want to start going down. But if we keep going this way, it's not gonna let us do this. So we're gonna go here. Can I go onto this platform? No, okay, so I can't go any further than that. Okay, so I have to go down here. Well, I mean, so obviously I had to go down there, but I mean, like, if it was if I got on it when it was pointing to the right, would I have been able to step on that platform? And the answer was a definitive no. Okay, left or right? If I go to the right now, I can still. Well, I guess now I can see if I can go up on this platform. Oh, I can. Okay, so that's useful. This means that I can actually, I can play around. Like I can deliberately move the clocks around while I stand here. So now if we get down here, this'll force this down. But if I go right twice here, I think I might be able to get down here, because this will take me this direction. But now, can I just go back and forth now? Like if I go here, yeah, okay, that points me in that direction. Nice, awesome.
Allow me to show you my puzzle-solving skills.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like if I tried to actually plan that out, that probably would have just harmed me more than it would have hurt me. Harmed me more than it would have helped me, because to actually try to predict all the different ways the clocks would move would have been painful. So I just tried to fly by the seat of my pants and hope that we ended up in the correct spot, which sure enough we did. Okay, success. You've proven that the time truly doesn't stop for anyone. Alright, we solved your puzzle.
How can this be? How seem like a challenge for you? Who are you? And how did you do that so effortlessly?
More importantly than who I am, there is one thing of which I am certain, and that is that every puzzle has a solution. So do I qualify?
Not so fast.
Do you really believe that my permission can be obtained? Well, considering you didn't think anybody could beat that challenge a minute ago, I'd say that I think we've earned a spot at reading it.
That was no more than a
preliminary. Oh, come on! You don't have a backup plan. You have no backup plan. Excuse me. You're gonna just throw something together.
Mister, I've never seen you get this excited.
Silence! Be quiet, Dewey.
Sorry.
I assume it's safe to predict that this will not be quite so simple.
Ahem.
So not only do we have to solve one puzzle, we have to solve a gauntlet of puzzles. Great, okay.
Prepare to lose your mind.
I think I've already lost my mind many times playing the Professor Layton games. So. Oh, it's just the same? Is it just the harder version of the same puzzle? Oh, that's not... Oh, what is this? Let me guess, some rotate counterclockwise, some rotate clockwise. Make your way through the maze. Note that the clock hands on the purple clock appear to rotate at 3 times the speed. Well, ain't that just wonderful? Okay, 3 times the speed. What the... Before I forget, I must warn you, you no longer have the luxury of undoing a move. One teeny tiny miscalculation and it's game over. I do hope you don't mind. Wait, what do you... Oh, I didn't even know that there was an undo button there. Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. Okay, so... I guess we can't take the same... How far... Okay, I mean, so... I was gonna say how far can we go if we mimic the same route we did last time, but then I realized that the non-clock spaces are in different places, so it's not gonna work. So I can only go right now, and I can only go right now. Now I have a choice. I'm gonna go right again because this will rotate and put me down here, so now I can start going down. And I'm gonna get on here. I always want to try to reach this space, because this space allows me to go any direction I want without worrying about where the arrows are gonna go. So actually, if I go, you think I can like zigzag down now? Let's see if we can zigzag down. Almost. Let's try this out a bit. If I go up here, if I just keep going up and down, and then I go here, and then I go up, and then I go down, this will rotate into position. Nice. Okay, awesome.
Let's see if I've proven myself.
So,
You should expect no
is
less
that
from a
it? Or are
gentleman.
you gonna make me do another version of that exact same one? Because that would not be fun. If I had to do that again, like that was cool the first time, second time's okay, bit more of a challenge. Please don't make me do a third one of those. That would not be nice.
My mind-bending puzzle, you didn't lose your mind. On the contrary, you found a solution. That's just impossible. My glasses, my book. Don't look at me. My glasses, I need to put them on. Just a moment.
They're on your head. Just pull them down.
That's better. I apologize for a moment there. I lost my composure. But to see my trial cleared like that, seems I underestimated you, sir.
It was a fascinating puzzle, no more than I expect from the curator of the Great Archive.
I find your confidence rather disconcerting. I hope someday to have the pleasure of showing you a puzzle that will make those little round eyes of yours spin in your head. But nevertheless, a promise is a promise. I hereby grant you your permission. The special viewing room containing the Grand Grimoire is located on the first floor. As I'm sure you are already aware, that book is of unparalleled importance. By no means may it be treated with anything other but the utmost care. Of course, Monsieur. Thank you for granting me permission. Well then, shall we proceed to the special viewing room? I shall have to accompany you since the room is locked.
Okay. Good to know we don't have to do a third one of those puzzles.
You did it, Professor! You cleared both trials in one fell swoop! That was amazing, Mr. Layton. It's well done that Miss Mystere is an avid collector of puzzles because
Of course they are. And I've heard the puzzles she presents are always very difficult to solve.
I see. So there are collectors of puzzles in this place too.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing important. Right then, no use in waiting around. Let's go and take a look at the Grand Grimoire.
Right you are, Professor!
Okay. To the special viewing room away. Oh, that was, oof. That was, an image of the bakery just flashed on the screen for a second there. That was, odd. Okay. Well, let's head to the viewing room. See what magical goodies await us in here.
This is the special viewing room. I'm sure a gentleman such as yourself will understand, but seeing as this is a special room not open to the general public, I must insist that you all be on your best behavior.
Wow, this room feels so grand and elegant. It's my first time in here too. I must admit I feel a little nervous.
It certainly does give some indication of the importance of the book being kept here. That book in the center must be the Grand Grimoire.
Well, let's take a look at it. Nah, down there. Let's take a look at it. See what it has to offer.
This is incredible! It's crammed with information about magic! People say it's the magic used by the witches. If that's so, then the magic we saw in London must be in here somewhere too.
That may well be true, Luke. A tome as thick as this must surely contain such information.
Finding it is a bit daunting, though. Huh? What's this? Professor, this page is different from the others.
What is this?
This page isn't about magic at all. Something about it makes you feel uneasy.
Luke, this page appears to be addressed to someone, don't you think?
Oh, you mean like a message? Let's read it, Professor.
From a time long ago, the ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books, waiting for the awakening. When the sun and moon, watching over the sage, swap places to show their true form, the door to the past will open. Once a passion of perspicacity has fulfilled the challenge, the door will be open. Okay. Until then, I will wait for the time of the awakening. So I'm guessing that if we're talking about an infinite vault of books, that's probably the archive. So we just gotta find a sun and moon somewhere in here. Hey, does anyone have the new Pokemon game? We gotta hold it over someone.
How can this be? Why is this in here? How did something like this get into the Grand Grimoire? It's just not possible. I can't understand it. No one entered the special viewing room before you came here. And whenever someone enters this room, I always accompany them in this way.
So, that means that the page must have changed at some point, doesn't it? Could that really be possible? Perhaps some kind of device?
Unthinkable, there is only one key to this room, so no one can enter without being granted my permission. I assure you it's true on my honor as a curator.
Oh, I got a comment from someone. What does the comment say? You don't do my math wrong in the video show up now. Oof. Patience is quite a virtue, let me tell you. Okay.
But then how can anyone have done this?
Luke, I believe we both know who might be capable of such an act.
Eh?
You mean witches, don't you?
Oh, witches?
We don't know yet who changed that page, but the more important matter is what's written here. The infinite vault of books mentioned here.
Yeah, okay, I got that much.
Which implies there was a secret of some sort hidden within the library.
Professor, what about this part? A person of perspicacity.
Well, I believe that could be referring to Carmine. He came here regularly to investigate, so it's certainly somewhat likely, which means our next objective is to find the answer that he was looking for.
It's a bit of a spooky message, but if we can open this door to the past, then we'll surely be one step closer to solving this mystery.
Just a moment, please. I'm the curator here, and I won't be allowing you to investigate anything without my permission.
So you mean we can't investigate?
Not at all. I'm simply insisting that you allow me to accompany you. There should be no doors in this library that I don't know about, and even if there is something hidden somewhere, as suggested by this message, it is my duty as curator to know what that is. I completely understand this, monsieur. We can only benefit from your presence. Now then, how about we all make our way back to the entrance? Let's think about where this door could be from there.
Okay.
But Professor, supposing there is a door, that message is sort of puzzling in itself.
Don't you think it would be difficult to find? You may be right, and this library is so large, finding anything will surely take a good deal of our time.
No, I think not. You're both missing something here. I believe I may well know what is meant by the words in this message.
Eh? Really, Professor?
Yes, if you'll just remember the wording.
You're not gonna make me read the whole thing again, are you? That would be very nice. Wow, you're... please don't... I remember what it says, yeah. Awakening, sun and moon watching over stage, swapping places to show the true form. Door to the past will open. A person of perspicities fulfill the challenge, door will open. I really didn't need to see this again. I really did not need to see this again. But alright. Door will be open. Yep, I mean that's, yep. Here we are, reading this again. Okay.
If you'll both take a look around this room, you'll notice we are surrounded by books. There's probably no verse in the library with more books than there are right here.
Is that the... I see two murals up there. Is one of them the moon and one of them the sun?
And the key opening the doors and the sun and moon watching over the sage.
What could that mean? There are no windows, so no light can come in from the sun or the moon.
Precisely, which means it must not be the real sun and moon that are being referred to here. And that they are located where they can watch over the sage, in other words, behind. Perhaps you already realized to whom the sage is referring? Right then, let's find this sun and moon watching over the sage over the door.
You mean this thing back here? No, not this. This thing. Oh, there is a sun and moon back there. I didn't even see that.
Oh, what's that?
The sun and moon construction. Oh!
So the sage must be...
That's right, the sage of this library refers to the curator. And this sun and moon construction is located right behind her seat, so that's what the sun and moon watching over the stage is referring to.
And when the sun and moon swap places, their true form will be shown, and the door to the past will open. So all we need to do is work out what that means.
What does it mean by their true form? Well, if we interpret it as face value, it would suggest that we are currently seeing their untrue form. Have a look at this. There seems to be some sort of mechanism in place.
Oh, Professor, if you look closely, there seems to be a puzzle hidden here.
Of course there's a puzzle hidden here. Why wouldn't there be? Puzzle number 19, Sun and the Moon. Okay, there are 2 tiles on each side with an image of the sun and the moon. Maneuver the tiles so that sun and moon swap sides. This is gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be a bottom screen puzzle. We're gonna switch these around real quick so that you guys can see it more clearly. Okay.
Let's see if I've proven myself. You should expect no less from a gentleman.
That was something. That was tough. That was a really tough puzzle. Okay. Whew. Success. The mysterious library puzzle is solved. But just what will happen next? I don't know, but whatever. It can't possibly be harder than that. That was tough. Oh, I gotta switch the screens back. Hold on. Good thing I noticed that. That would have been bad. Okay. Now it's actually an Indiana Jones style adventure, like Last Crusade here.
Oh, Professor, there's a stairway. Who would have thought that there could have be anything like this in here?
The ancient flame has been locked in an infinite vault of books. I wonder just what we'll find down there.
An entrance to a basement below the Great Archive? Am I right in thinking that you knew nothing of the stairwell's existence? That's right, and if I, as the curator, knew nothing of it, then surely no one else could. It's hard to believe that a secret such as this could have been hidden here all this time. Who could possibly left such a message?
It might be wise not to let anyone see what has been revealed here.
I agree. I'll be back as soon as I have asked the other visitors to leave the building.
I guess there's no one else in the main atrium of this place.
Well then, are you both ready?
You betcha. Let's go, Professor. You too, Espella. Okay then, Luke.
Well, let's Indiana Jones this and head into the basement. What could possibly go wrong?
This place appears to be some sort of historic site.
It's amazing to think a place like this could exist under the library. I wonder when it dates from. Ah, that mural. It can't be.
Let me guess, it's the Great Fire.
A dragon breathes fire, setting the town ablaze.
Okay. Do I have to talk to you to learn more about what this mural is?
This wall painting's a bit scary, isn't it? A monster attacking a burning town.
Or not the Great Fire, the legendary fire.
There's also a woman hurling fire. I suppose she must be a witch.
That woman is the Great Witch. Miss Mystere, this certainly doesn't bode well, a painting of the Great Witch here. Do you know anything about the witch in this painting? You don't know of the Great Witch? But how can that be possible from a man of your learning? Well, that's... Never mind. I'm sure you must have your reasons. I don't wish to pry. I appreciate that. Would you mind perhaps telling us a bit about this witch? The woman in this painting is the Great Witch Bezella, and this painting depicts the...
Yep, that's what we figured.
legendary fire. She is the witch in charge of all witches, whose very existence poses the greatest threat known to Labyrinthia. The Great Witch Bezella cannot be considered the same as other witches. She is the root of all Labyrinthia's woes. The Great Witch Bezella. What do you mean by the root of all Labyrinthia's woes? The reason for all Labyrinthia's suffering at the hands of the witches lies in the very existence of the Great Witch Bezella. Would you mind elaborating? The Great Witch Bezella is the source of all the other witches. As long as she exists, there will be no end to other witches. While the Great Witch Bezella is with us, the townspeople will forever live in fear under the shadow of witches.
So you mean that if there were no Great Witch, there would be no peace?
No Great Witch? That's easy enough to say, but while all the knights have been searching for Bezella, nobody has ever been able to find her. There are very few clues and no one has ever seen her in person. Nevertheless, the Great Witch Bezella is undoubtedly present in Labyrinthia. How can you be so certain? Because her deep claw marks can still be seen throughout the town.
Claw marks?
You must have all seen them too, the traces of that fire when you entered this library.
Ah, yes, there was the part of this building that had suffered noticeable damage.
Bezella is a fearful witch who has all others witches doing her bidding. Long ago, this town was reduced to ashes as a result of her fiery magic.
Reduced to ashes?
That must have been, let me see, 100 or so years ago. It was on the evening of the Fire Festival, held every year in honor of the Great Witch Bezella. The Great Witch's fury was unleashed without warning as the entire town burned. That's terrible. That was the legendary fire. Every person in this town knows about it. Legendary fire. The rebuilding of this town was a long and arduous process, and all the while Bezella must have been watching and laughing from the shadows.
That's awful!
Even now, the legend of long ago continues to cause real suffering amongst the townsfolk. To think that a painting of the fearful witch could be right here in the basement of my beloved library. What is it doing here of all places? There's nothing for it. I'll just have to have this room sealed shut. Please, let's keep this existence of this room strictly between ourselves, for the good of the people. As for me, I shall do my best to forget all about this hidden room. I'm afraid I'd rather not remain in here for a minute longer.
Understandable.
It's time I started closing up the library for the day.
I don't know that no one else in the library would have heard and or seen this open, but whatever.
I can't help but feel we've done something wrong.
You recall the words toward the end of that message.
Do you mean until then I will wait?
That's right. When we opened this door, or rather, when we were guided towards opening this door, I could sense someone else's will at work. It's almost as if our following Carmine and coming to this library had all been planned out in advance.
Surely you don't mean that we were beckoned here by the Great Witch Bezella?
Bezella?
Let me guess, that's the one who possessed you?
Huh? Is something the matter? Are you feeling all right, Espella?
Yes, I'm fine, really.
That's, a bit disturbing.
Espella? Yes? What is it? It's just that, well, you've been so quiet. Oh, it's nothing. It's just that this room, it's a little chilly, don't you think? The atmosphere is a bit sinister, not to mention that scary picture. Maybe it's about time we made a move from here?
Yes, indeed.
Those words at the end of the message. I will wait. What if we weren't meant to be the ones who were being called here?
Alright. This is a little creepy. Just a tad, though.
Phew, it's much more relaxing here, isn't it? It felt so intense and claustrophobic down there. Yes, it certainly did. Today's been full of surprises. Not only did I meet up with you two again, but we also found that mural in the library. It seems that this town really does hold a mysterious secret, doesn't it? What shall we do now?
I'd certainly like to learn more about this magic. We've been in here for quite some time, must be getting late. It's probably best if we wind up investigating for today and take a rest. You must both be feeling tired.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I'd be happy to do a little more investigating with you two. I have an errand to run before it gets too late. I'm still up for investigating further. Whatever the puzzle, I'm ready to solve it! Haha, Luke, I could hear your tummy rumbling from here just now. Well, I can't pretend I'm not a little hungry. If you haven't arranged accommodation yet, why don't you both stay at the bakery? There's room free, so I'm sure it'll be alright. And Mrs. Eclair would love to have you. What do you say?
I don't know, she kind of went insane in the last episode. I don't know, this might be a bad idea.
And there's all the delicious bread, too. I'm looking forward to it already.
Professor Layton, do you have to be going? Yes, sorry for the trouble we put you to. Not at all. Although I still can't get used to there being a secret room under the library. It's been a while since I last met someone capable of solving my puzzles.
Well, from what you said, it sounds like you've never met someone capable of solving my puzzles.
As I promised, you have my permission to borrow the Grand Grimoire. If you have any need for it in the future, please do drop by and let me know. Thank you very much. Miss Mystere, it's been a pleasure. Oh, there's just one more thing. I have all of the Labyrinthia's puzzles stored here in this library.
So this is gonna be the Granny's Riddleton Shack replacement for this game, I see.
They were likely puzzles.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we know how this works. Good old-fashioned Granny Riddleton. Okay.
You take care too. Until we meet again, Miss Mystere.
Grand Grimoire added to items.
Wow, it's already this dark out here. I didn't realize we were in there so long.
It looks as if it must have been raining up a minute ago. The ground is still wet.
Yes, and that reminds me of what Mrs. Eclair was saying before we left. She said you might want to hurry. It looks like it might rain at any time. Let's get a move on. You too, Espella. Hey, where is she?
She probably went to go get the milk.
That's strange. She's not here.
She probably went to go get the milk.
I wonder where she could have gone.
Probably to get the milk.
Perhaps she's still in the Great Archive.
Do we? What you doing?
Slowly does it, step by step. Oh, are you two still here? Let me through, I have to lock up.
Hello, Dewey. Have you seen Espella?
If you're looking for Espella, she left while you were still talking to Miss Mystere.
Eh? I wonder why.
She said something about, yeah, I don't know how you already forgot about that.
Ah, yes, I do remember Mrs. Eclair asking her to get some milk for the bakery.
It was raining, you said?
Yes, it started raining about the same time you all went down to the...
Well, ain't that convenient.
When Espella left just now, it did look as if the rain was about to stop. Ah, yes, she left a message for you. She had to go back without her.
But she didn't have to go alone, especially in the dark.
I'm sure she'll be fine. If it's only milk she needs, then she can get it at the market. It's not far, so she should be back soon. If anything, I'd be more worried about you two being the ones in danger. You know, in the story, it said there were 2 companions. If your work here is finished, then I suggest you both go home. I don't want to get caught up in anything.
Luke, why don't we head back to the bakery and wait for Espella there?
I suppose so. I guess she'll be alright, right?
I mean, she's been through a lot recently. I think she'll be fine. Also, she's only going to get milk, so, you know. Let's head back to the bakery and check it out.
First, I smell freshly baked bread. I wonder if that could be Mrs. Eclair's work. Let's go inside.
Yes, we could. Although we could also take a walk around to the town at night.
No, we're going inside. We're going inside. That's our quest. Our quest is go inside the bakery. I don't know why it's showing the default background of Phoenix and Maya, but whatever.
Ah, welcome back. I prepared the evening meal already.
Wow, it looks great.
Hang on, where's Espella?
I'm afraid we were separated when she went to get that milk. Has she not come back yet?
Oh dear, maybe I was asking too much of her.
My apologies. I should have stopped her when I had the chance.
There's nothing you need to worry about, Mr. Layton. That girl knows her way around. I'm sure she'll be back soon. Let's go ahead and eat while waiting for her. I love when we all get to eat together. Meals are much more enjoyable that way.
I've never had bread and jam that tasted this good before.
I hope Espella gets back soon.
Oh yeah, you guys went out to the Great Archive with her, didn't you?
Did you find what you were looking for?
Well, it's a bit of a mystery, really.
What do you mean?
In truth, we went there to investigate the mystery that is Labyrinthia. However, what we found instead was quite the puzzle.
Oh, right, a puzzle, huh?
You know, I get the impression puzzles are pretty popular in this town. Do you not know what a puzzle is, Nick? Not that I know exactly.
Well, we spent all our time baking. It's not really the kind of thing we're supposed to know about, I guess.
Indeed. It appears the two of you are a little unsure about the concept of puzzles.
Say, Mr. Layton, you think you could give us a little puzzles 101 crash course? I'm kinda curious.
It would be my pleasure, Miss Fay, but rather than explaining it in words, I believe actually trying your hand at a puzzle would be far more rewarding. Here, I'll give you both a simple example to think about. Now then, here we have two long loaves of bread placed side by side. You'll notice that they form the number 11. Do you see what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get it. So that's
That's what the puzzle is. I don't know that I buy this. So they were brainwashed into thinking that they just bake for all their lives and that they don't understand the concept of a puzzle.
Not quite, Miss Fay. The puzzle is what follows next. What I'd like you to try is, I'd like you to see if you can change this into a number lower than 11.
A lower numbers? How about if I take one of the loaves?
However, the one condition is that you must add another loaf of exactly the same type.
You need to add another loaf? Even though we add a loaf, the number has to be lower. I think I'm beginning to see what you mean by puzzle.
Wait, I think I've got it. I just be bigger, but you gotta have the right. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple. If we're allowed to make an equation and just put one in the middle horizontal, yeah, like that. 1 minus 1 equals 0.
Oh, give me a break, Nick. That's totally the letter H. I'm trying to solve a...
Maya. They seem to have lowered Maya's IQ levels for this game, which is a little annoying.
Oh, come on. I can't be the only one that sees 1 minus 1, right? Right?
Turning into a matter of arithmetic is certainly an interesting approach.
You, think so?
Certainly. That's precisely the kind of flexible thinking needed for solving puzzles. Now let's think again.
Take a seat and lead this to a pro, Nick. How about this? Just take this new loaf of bread and ta-da! Now that's 1 minus 1.
Hey, eating is cheating.
Really? This feels more like winning to me.
You're full of surprises, Miss Fay. I didn't expect that kind of innovation.
I solved the puzzle and enjoyed the bread. Win-win, baby! But didn't Mr. Layton tell us at the start we needed to add another loaf of the exact same type? Huh? Seriously?
That's right, unfortunately. I'm afraid I can't accept this as a solution to the puzzle.
Well, alright, but is there really another better solution?
Well, what do you think? Can either of you think of a different solution?
Do we really need a lecture on puzzles from Professor Layton? Like, I don't think this needed to be a thing.
You both came up with such creative answers, I'm sure we solved puzzles in no time. But now it's time for the solution. The important thing is the puzzle solution is the angle of the loaf that is added. If the new loaf is placed upright like so...
Oh, I get it. It's number 1.1, right?
Hey, that's right. That's a lot lower than 11. Yeah, I would never have thought of that. I would never have thought of that. I absolutely, positively no way I would have thought of that.
Exactly. When solving puzzles, there is never just one correct method. It's essential to think flexibly and try many means to solve it. Sometimes critical thinking is the key to success.
Right, I see what you mean. These puzzles are really something else.
Well, if I see another puzzle like this, I'd still have to eat my way to the solution.
You know, I don't think I'd come out for busting bread puzzles like this. I'll stick with good old regular bread, thanks.
That's because we're ace bakers. I guess you're better suited to using our hands and our heads.
Is that so? In truth, I can't help but feel you both a little out of place as bakers, if you pardon my saying so. Naturally, I won't force puzzles upon you, but if either of you should be interested, I'll be heartily recommend giving puzzles something to try.
Professor, why now there's something else we all need to try? Mrs. Eclair's freshly baked bread is getting cold. And I'm sure it tastes better hot.
Oh dear, so it is. You know how I can get when it comes to puzzles.
Well, young man, I must say it's a pleasure to have someone show such appreciation for my bacon. When it comes to your bread, Mr. Clare, there's no limit to how much I can eat.
Luke?
You shouldn't have said that.
What?
My, aren't you, darling? Well, in that case, I suppose I'll just have to bring out my special reserve. Hold on a moment, I'll just go and fetch it.
Oh, what do we do? Right, I think it's time I started preparing tomorrow's bread.
Oh, yes, me too. I'm sure it must be that time already.
Oh, what is she gonna do?
Professor, what was that all about?
I'm not entirely sure, but I do seem struck by a sudden sense of impending doom.
What? What? Why do you?
Whoa, this loaf! Wait, where did those two go, Miss Maya and Mr. Wright?
Luke, it will appear that we have been left to tackle this particular task alone.
Why do you have? What? Okay, this is just weird.
Phew, I'm stuffed.
I believe this must be the most bread I've ever eaten in my life.
Wait a sec. I've just realized, we finished eating, but Espella still isn't back yet.
She went to the market, didn't she? Perhaps I ought to go and...
Oh my, Christmas this late hour? I'm sorry, but we're closed.
That's him, that man over there.
So he's the one, is he?
Just a minute, what do you think you're doing barging in like this?
Stand aside, madam. This is a matter of urgency.
What are you gonna do?
You there, Porcupine Head, you're coming with us. Huh? Porcupine Head, you don't mean me, do you? Who else in this room fits that description?
Certainly, you would appear to be alone on that particular front.
Oh, I wish I had a top hat too right about now. Enough of your idle chit-chat, time to get going. Huh? What do you mean? Well, it should be quite obvious. You're coming to the court, of course. The court?
What? Mr. Ryan, what did you do?
Yeah, Nick, what'd you do?
I didn't do anything. The only thing you could accuse me of is making bread that's too good to eat. This man is not the one who's on trial.
In that case, why was Mr. Ryan being made to go to the court?
That's simple, because the girl has requested him, of course. What? Do not even tell me. Don't even try. No.
Again! Okay. So, Espella will be playing the role of Maya Fey for this game, where she gets accused every goddamn... Okay. So, Espella's on trial again. And that's a clever play on words. Which trial? Okay. Alright, game. You get points. Which trial? Yep, alright. Okay, game. Okay, game. I'll give you a solid three points for that one. That's pretty cool. Puzzle Center Riddell. That's a lot of puzzles. Yikes, okay. Well, that episode wasn't as interesting as the last one. I don't know that we needed a lecture from Luke and Layton on puzzles to Phoenix and Maya, but, you know, there was some interesting stuff there. But it sounds like next time we're going to gear up for a Phoenix Wright section, and that I'm really excited for. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next episode schedule. Tomorrow, for some more Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Goodbye.